I have planted these 3 blueberry bushes over here, and they have been just giving me tons of blueberries. They're coming in faster than I know what to do with them. This means I have a lot of blueberries and need to come up with a way to use them.
So what I'm going to try is to take the blueberries and make blueberry wine with them. So let's talk about some of the equipment they're going to be using to make this wine. The first thing we have is this 5-gallon bucket, a glass carboy, some wine yeast, some peptic enzymes, some acid blend, and wine tannins. And of course we have our blueberries and some sugar to add to the mixture. And after we have sanitized our equipment with a non-soap sanitizer like this one-step solution, we're ready to start using it to make wine.
Okay, so I have between 12 and 15 pounds of blueberries that I'm going to pour inside this bucket to start our process. This is going to be the first step. We're going to pour some berries inside here. So berries alone, we got about 5 liters worth of berries, just over a gallon. Okay, and with this amount of berries, we're going to want to add some sugar to it, and about 2 4-pound bags, a little over that is what we're going to want to add. Then I have potato masher that I'll help mix in the berries and the sugar and muddle it down before I add more sugar. And with the sugar on top, we're just going to mix it all in. So I've added a few more berries, added some sugar, and we're now up to 8 liters, about 2 gallons worth of total sugar and berries. And on the stove, we have a gallon of water that I'm going to boil. And then once that begins to boil, we can dump that in with our blueberry mix. Okay, and we have some boiling water. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this boiling water and we're going to pour it in with our berries. Okay, we're just over 3 gallons now. I'm going to start mixing with a long wooden spoon our mixture here. So what I have here is a food thermometer, and we want this temperature to drop down to about 70 degrees. And that's important because one of the next things we're going to put in here is the yeast, and we don't want to kill it. We want to keep it at a nice, comfortable temperature for the yeast to do its work. So while we're waiting for it to cool, just put this lid on, we can let it sit for a bit. And if you're in a bit of a hurry to cool it down, one trick you can do is just place your bucket in the sink with water, maybe even add some ice to it. And as the ice melts, that'll cool down your syrup mixture. Right now, mine is sitting at just over 80 degrees. We're going to wait to get that down to below 80, and then we'll add some more and try to get it to 70. Okay, it looks like we got it just under 80 degrees. So we're going to add a little bit more water. And I'm guessing we're at 4 gallons right now. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Get us just over 4 gallons, maybe 4.5 gallons total of water and berries. And I'm going to mix this mixture up.
Once we have this well stirred, we'll then be ready to add our additives to the mixture.
Okay, what I have here is an acid blend for winemaking. And I'm going to use 4 teaspoons of this. so I still have maybe about half left, so I would say I used about an ounce. And then we have a peptic enzyme for winemaking. I'm going to use about 2 teaspoons of this. I'm guessing that will be about half as well. Then we have some wine tannins, and I'm only going to need to use 1 spoon of this. I'm going to go back to my spoon and stir this stuff together. Okay, final thing for today is I have this wine yeast, and I'm just going to sprinkle this packet inside of the barrel. Just sprinkle it on top, no need to mix it in. It'll do that automatically. Alright, and that's all I'm going to do for today. I'm going to put the lid on and maybe move it to a different location. But I'm actually going to keep it inside this bucket for about a week. And every day I'm going to open the bucket up, stir everything up again, and after a week, then I'm going to move it to a glass carboy and keep it in here for 6 months, and then we can bottle it. And then I'm just going to find a nice, cool, dark closet to put this in, and then I'll occasionally open up the top and stir it up for the next week. Okay, it's the first day, next day later. All I'm going to do is push this down. You can see it's carbonated already. That's the carbon dioxide from the yeast. Just going to press the berries down underneath the juices. I'm doing this every day for about a week.
After about a week of this, I'm ready to pour my content into the glass carboy. But to make this easier, I actually have a bottling bucket with a nozzle. So I'm going to pour all of my berries into the bottling bucket and then pour it into the glass carboy.
Now, I'm going to open it up and let it drain. Okay, once we get to this point where the fluid stops flowing through, what I want to do here is I want to take a look at the berries that are inside. Just squish the last bits of juice out of these. Just muddle this down as much as we can.
And to make sure we get every last bit of juice out, we're going to pour our remaining berries into a strainer and then muddle down the berries even more in the strainer to get just the juice out of it.
You can try muddling down again with all the berries in the strainer.
And now we're going to top off the carboy with the final catch of juice that we muddled from the berries at the very end.
Top this off. Topper. And we press some airlock in it.
After we got our airlock on the carboy, we can just put it away in a closet and let the yeast do its work and let it bubble for the next 6 months.
Okay, we are going to take our wine and now we're going to bottle it. So the first step is going to be to pour our wine in our bottling bucket. Okay, now this can stain some stuff. So we want to be careful here. Okay, we'll have to clean this later. Ooh, it smells pretty good. Alright. I'm going to put this at a high vantage point. And now I'm going to attach our bottle filler. Alright, we have our bottle filler in. I'm going to get some bottles ready, but I'm going to prepare for some spillage. Little tray here. I can put a bottle in the tray, so if there's any spillage, it'll be caught in the tray. Okay. So I'm going to angle this down. Open up the nozzle here. Alright, and now I'm just going to fill this up. Here's the top. I can take it out, and the displacement from this, I'll leave it a little bit air in there. And this is how I'm bottling them. There's these plastic bottle toppers. Some people swear by cork. Some people say cork is not the best because it permeates and lets airs and outside things in. I don't really know, but I know that these are much cheaper, so I'll go with these, and they're so easy to put in. You need a special device to get real corks into these bottles. So I'm going to go with this, and I'm just going to feel good that some people say that these are better because it doesn't let air in and other perforations.
All in all, I was able to fill 19 bottles with the wine. And after filling the bottles, the next task that I want to jump into is a fun little task where I get to put my own labels on the front and back of the wine. After labeling my bottles, I'm going to take them and place them in a cool, dark closet to age the wine in the bottles for maybe 6 more months before I'm ready to start drinking them. Before I drink any, I first want to find the Brix number using this refractometer, and the specific gravity using this hydrometer, so that I can estimate the alcohol by volume, which in this case comes to about 10%. Now all that's left is to enjoy.